I might have found the craziest writing challenge yet, in part because it's supposed to take a full 75 days. That is right. There are people who have taken the 75 hard challenge that I've mostly seen over in like the fitness side of YouTube, Instagram, social media online, and taken it and changed it to work for writers and authors. First off, let me just say that normal 75 hard sounds crazy to me. I will post what some of the rules vaguely to follow are if you're game for it. I have watched a couple of these videos, but not nearly as many videos as what YouTube tries to suggest to me. I've also seen a lot of people change it slightly to be 75 soft, which is perhaps like not as rigorous. Maybe you have a day off each week. But the point being, you're going to make these routine changes every day. You're going to do X, Y, Z, and also probably A, B, C, D, E, and F. Maybe even the whole alphabet, I don't know. Just a lot of things, and you're gonna do it for 75 days straight. So I actually first saw this in the writer realm because of Jenna Streety. I saw her video. Jenna's challenge is a little bit different, but she did mention the 75 hard challenge, so let's dive in. Her challenge is going from May 12th to November 13th, and she has quite a few rules. She's partnering up with Jay Henderson, and it was inspired by Chiara Evola's experiment. Her challenge rules are 1,000 more words per day than your usual goal, aside from the planned days off, completely draft 3 books / 500,000 words, 555,000 words if no breaks, and doing 3K a day like me. Okay, Jenna. If you're indie, self-publish 2 books or 3 novella length works if you're traditional queried 2 projects. If indie, do 1 author event and sign physical copies of your book. And if you're traditional, go to an author's event. Post 3 pieces of content per day on any platform. Pick your days off, schedule healthy breaks, and honor them without guilt. Make new writer friends, online or in person. 5,000 steps a day, 5+ bottles of water a day. Kind of bringing in from the 75 hard sort of challenges like this. Stick to a healthy routine of exercise and diet for you, with cheats of course. Join the 24-hour novel challenge in June. No social media before 9 a.m. or after 9 p.m. Adjust if you don't work 9 to 5. 30 minutes of reading a day, any genre as long as it's not your own book. Stick to a sleeping schedule and nighttime routine best for you. Find one new hobby you won't monetize that brings you joy and stick with it. And of course, modify for any disabilities, mental health, and other chronic issues. Okay, so I saw this, I watched the video, and I was like, Jenna, I did not have words. I still don't. I love these videos. I'm gonna be so honest. I adore a crazy challenge video. I love people who are going to try and stick with something for that amount of time. I know myself pretty well at this point, and I cannot fathom that I would be able to do this. To the point that I don't even know if I can do it for one day. I wanted to see if anyone else had done this. I saw Kate's Book Date doing 75 hard for authors, and she linked some people from Instagram, Morley Gray Reads, and author Bex DeVoe. But then when I kept searching, I actually found Dr. Daily Knows #Kidlit with 75 Hard Writers Edition that she posted all the way back 5 months ago. It was her 2025 New Year challenge, and she even has an update on how that all went for her. So I want to make sure I link those down below. That was the earliest that I could personally find of this kind of idea. And Dr. Daly's 5 principles were 2 45-minute sprints. Some treats. Read 10 pages a day, drink some water or some tea, give yourself some beverage, stay hydrated. She had a daily word count goal, and she was starting January 1st. I am going to attempt Jenna's as close as possible because Jenna's is the one that I saw first. And frankly, sounds the most... Do you see that pause? It sounds the toughest to me in some ways. I mean, they all sound pretty tough. I'm gonna be completely honest. I do think that the stamina required to do that day in and day out is, as Jenna would say, would be life-changing if you could really stick to it. I think that is very cool. I'm very excited to follow all of their journeys. And to honor them, I'm gonna try it for a whole day. Is it that I know myself really well? Is it that I like don't want to push myself that hard? Is it that I don't see any way to do this and the other stuff that I currently do as well? It could be that, if I'm being generous to myself, but obviously they're doing it around all their other things as well. So anyways, I do want to say that I already read in the mornings. I have been reading Braiding Sweetgrass. It kind of acts as like a very nice meditation. And I am also currently reading my new read, Paladin's Grace, right now in the evenings, whatever. I'm not too concerned about the reading goal. I do think it's a wonderful reading goal. I love that that is something I've seen carried over from 75 Hard as well, and makes even more sense for writers, I think. It's very easy to get in the trap when we're writing so much, especially when we're trying to squeeze the writing in, to let the reading fall by the wayside. So I like the focused, concerted effort in every single one of these iterations of this challenge. I'm currently revising, but for the purposes of tomorrow, when I try this, I'm going to both revise as well as do 1,000 more drafting words than I typically do. And my goal for right now in a basement brimming with bodies is 1,000 words a day. So I'm gonna try and do 2,000 words on top of my revision work. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm also going to attempt to do the 3 pieces of content every day. This is something that was not on the other challenges as far as I could tell, but I do think for marketing and all of those fun things, you see the big side with marketing, I do think that it's important, despite saying this here on what could more or less be a social media platform YouTube is, I am not great about posting things, and I would like to get better at that. 3 times seems like a lot, but we're gonna see. And I will also do the 5,000 steps a day. I'm gonna do that in addition to whatever I get, because I don't track my steps throughout the day. I don't use a smartwatch, and I often forget where I've put my phone and will lose it for hours at a time. So I will do an additional 5,000 steps like I do on my 5K Fridays. I already drink a lot of water, but I'll track just to double check that I am drinking that much water. And I am going to attempt to, I have this app that I have downloaded to try and track my food, in part because I'm trying to do some migraine tracking and stuff like that ahead of the intensity of summer, but also because I want to up my fiber intake. So for my purposes, I'm gonna try and just get like 30 grams of fiber. That will be my stretch food goal, I guess. Extra fiber. It's not that much extra, but extra fiber. I will make sure that I go to bed at a reasonable time. I will keep track of that, and I will go ahead and do a hobby that is not writing or reading or walking or running or whatever. So that's my plan for the day. Once again, I feel like I need to say the hard part about this in theory is supposed to be the intensity of it, of doing it day in and day out, except for, again, the occasional cheat days or rot days or however you want to look at it. But I personally, when I'm looking at that huge list of things, it sounds like a lot. It sounds like the kind of thing where like when you accomplish it for the day, you're like, hell yeah, I did that. And I'm trying to think, I feel confident I can do it, but just for the day, I think. But I also think it's gonna be hard. This is me like hedging my bets now, because I'm like, I need to get my revision work in. I need to do some YouTube work. So those aside, and then the 2,000 words can take some time, especially depending on how things are going or how mentally tapped out I am. And then the other stuff. Actually, it's gonna be fun to see how long it takes me. Yes. Wish me luck, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, I have finished my reading for the day. I got a chapter done in Brighting Sweetgrass. I got a chapter done in Paladin's Grace. It was over 30 minutes. Snorlax looks very happy in the background. I will say, once again, it shouldn't be hard stuff in theory, but it looks like quite a long list. My one thing with all of these kinds of challenges is often that though it's easy to account for, you know, drafting a certain number of words per day, the actual revision process, even from the people I know who have it like kind of down pat, it can be kind of murky because you never know what sort of things might pop up. And I feel like these longer form challenges don't always take that into account. And I know that's something that I've personally struggled with, is trying to figure out how long I should account for certain revision stages. It's something that I do want to get better at. So I'm kind of wondering if, like, I don't know, maybe there's a version of this that I could be inspired by that would kind of help me figure that out. But also, every story is different. It's gonna take how long it's gonna take, but then, you know, it's easier to say perhaps when you are the only one in charge of when your stories are getting out. If you were on a deadline that was set by like a traditional publisher or something, that might be much tougher, though I know a lot of people have asked for extensions on that kind of thing, because the words are quite difficult or revision is really taxing or life is lifing. But yes, of these kinds of challenges I saw, none of them really took into account like how many chapters you should revise each day in order to like get certain things published or something, you know? Because that's tough, because it is tough. That's also why there's not a lot of books about revision, I find. There's a lot more books about, this is my writing craft shelf and also my tea shelf. Well, my morning reading shelf. There are so many more writing craft books on how to draft than there are how to revise. I feel good about this so far. I do have other work to get to today. That's why I brought my computer over. We're gonna switch. I have, at 8:02 a.m., the final edit on the I Tried Writing Link video that I need to finish, which is entirely stuff I need to put onto the screen. So let's do that. Oh. Okay. I think someone's ready for breakfast. I think someone's ready for breakfast. I love you. I love you. I am almost done, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Go ahead, girls. Good job. It is 9:06. Let's see how much longer it takes me to finish. Hopefully not too long. Unfortunately, precious baby Thor was not interested in his food this morning, which means he might be getting sick later, but it's okay. It's very funny having a dog who also has tummy problems. Are you guys ready to go inside? Let's go! I did manage to finish my breakfast, although I don't think it had much fiber in it, but that's okay. Bestie's just hanging out. Boop. That's how I felt earlier too. My computer has been struggling. So I've like restarted it 3 different times to try and get this video to upload. Actually just a process, and then I can upload it, but I get stuck at the same spot each time. I'm a little bit late to my Twitch stream now too, but it's fine. I did finish my coffee though. No. I think it was a file that corrupted as I transferred it from my phone to the computer. I've deleted it. I'm hoping this works. I know this is technically not part of the challenge, but it does feel like my challenge today, you know? The smile is taunting me now because I do not feel very smiley. Okay, once again, moment of truth. Oh my God. This is progress. All right, stream is done. I got through about, I would say, I don't know, 2.5 chapters or so. Made one note about splitting another chapter. Yay. Yay. I only realized or remembered now that I was supposed to be tracking my water.
Move it around. It's hard work. Yeah. So see how you go.
Okay. Drama in the polished world.
Built like a Roman. You're scared of my guy. Man. What does Brittany want? What does Brittany want out of all this? What's the point? An Irishman? Yeah.
Okay, well, it's just after 1:30. I don't know if anything that I did was the changing my life challenge of sorts, but let's see. Okay, well, this isn't even part of it, but I have revised my chapters. I'm gonna go ahead, and I didn't do any social media before 9 a.m. And frankly, if I'm not in bed and asleep at 9 p.m., I've done something wrong. 30 minutes of reading are done, and I think maybe YouTube counts as a content ready to post. This is my third one of these for the day, so I think I'm chugging along nicely there. Okay, so I still need to write 2,000 words in a basement brimming with bodies. I still need to come up with 2 other pieces of content. I need to go on a walk. I need to meet my fiber goal. Look at that fiber. I'm not there yet. Go to bed at a reasonable time. I'm once again not too worried about a hobby that's not writing, and some language lessons, which is something I did also steal from Jenna. And arguably could be a hobby, but you know, I'm just gonna put it to the side. At 1:40 now. This does feel like quite a lot to do still. I also need to run errands and I need to clean up the house a bit. So, how do people do this? I cannot wait to watch other people attempt this. Alright, I'm at 491 words drafted for today, but it is just after 3. I'm gonna try and run to the grocery store before it gets too busy, but also I just need an eye break, and since I had that migraine yesterday, I just don't wanna push it too many hours in a row. But I do feel this is almost done and it's my 4th cup of water that I can check off the water for the day. Hooray. It is like the one healthy thing I've never had to worry about too much. I will always drink water. 8 glasses of water. Done. I can't even read my own handwriting. What does that say? Oh, meet fiber goal for the day. Oh god, okay. There is still quite a lot left. Excuse my skin. But I am feeling more confident that I can get it all done. What am I gonna post on social media? I have simply no idea, but I'll figure out something. I think in theory this should be something that's like related to your stories or you as a writer, but they're opening up a new Trader Joe's that's like slightly closer to me, and I kind of just want to know what everyone's favorite Trader Joe's food is. So I'm debating I'm debating posting and asking that. Haven't posted on Instagram in ages, but that seems like a good thing. I guess I could post what I'm reading. I did match my tea cup to my book. It was an accident. The tea's also definitely done, but you know what? Okay. Let's see. Can I get this to stand up on its own? Oh, I can. Okay. Portrait. Okay. Let's see if any of these turned out good. I like that one. And I can ask people what they're reading. Content. I have to say, one of the best perks of working from home is that I can simply be in pajamas all day until, of course, times like now. Clothed. Have to take my water with me. My co-writers. Or maybe here, I don't know. We multitasked this, okay. Apparently I can't do that with one hand. I multitasked that sprint a little bit because I added a whole content, okay? Look at this. Who is she? No. Who is she? Who is she? Posting twice. So you know what that means. I posted once on YouTube and twice on Instagram, which means 3 pieces of content for the day are done. My hobby that is not writing is also done because I'm counting my hobby as my nails. I went for summer vibes, summer colors, cruel hot summer sort of thing. Done. 1,000 plus more words I still need to get. My long walk, which to be fair, it's not really possible to do until it's dark because it is just so hot here. So I have some time. I'm gonna be honest, the fiber goal is probably not gonna happen. You know, a swing and a miss. That is a reasonable time I believe in. And then language lessons. We're gonna talk about this when I actually get around to the language lessons. But for now, let's try and get at least 1,000 words. In theory, 1,000 words right now is more than I'm currently getting, which is 0. So 2,000 might have been too hard while also reading and revising and going through 5 chapters of Closet Full of Cauldrons. I did some more after my stream was over. It has to be my focus. Ugh, I'm really just like, can I count that? I'm at 741 words so far. We're gonna see how I feel once I hit 1,000. We're gonna see, otherwise this may be a fail. I really have the Linkin Park. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter, okay? It doesn't even matter, it's not 2,000 words. I almost feel like I'm going back to the theory of I simply cannot change my life in this way because I can't even do it for one day. why that one cloud is so interesting to me. For Monaco or... Hello. Okay, I lied. I was very annoyed that I did not achieve the goal yesterday, so we're doing it again. We're trying again. Also, even better, with more fiber. It's oatmeal and berries for breakfast. And I have to say, I'm already at 13 grams of fiber for the day, which is perhaps not much less than what I got yesterday. So, I have already done my reading for the morning. Which means I can check some stuff off already. I am hopeful that with the slightly less stuff on my plate, I'll be able to achieve this. I'm also going to switch things up ever so slightly, and I'm actually going to try and get some of my drafting words first instead of leaving it for the end of the day and see how that goes. Most important right now is the revising, but I do think I'm more capable of this level of revision and double checking things later in the day. My brain capacity, you know, so we're gonna go for it. 1,000 more words than usual. I'm gonna aim for the 2,000 today. I'm not gonna let myself off with just the 1K. 3 pieces of content posted, which I realized, does my Twitch stream count as a content posted? I don't know. I feel like it should, yes? If the YouTube one counts, then the Twitch one should count, right? Logic. 30 minutes of reading. Done. I will say starting my day with 30 minutes of reading is wonderful. It's just wonderful. Cut off. I also realized at the end of the day that uploading that YouTube video was a thing because I had to finish editing stuff, right? And then I did film this entire video yesterday as well, just in terms of stuff that I'm doing that technically is not part of this experiment. Just to keep track of it all. Where are you? Oh, well. Now I'm gonna go feed the dogs and finish breakfast myself. Yes. Let's do it. I'm feeling confident about today. All right, an hour and 784 words later. Though I can't cross up the 2,000 words for the day, you know what I can add? This looks crazy. Okay, I'm going to say that the stream is a content. I think it counts. And I finished my first big water of the day. Plus 1 there. Do you want to go outside? Ooh, it's bright. I don't know if I mentioned it, but for a while I was worried that none of my vegetables were gonna grow on my fruit. I was worried, but look at this. I think I showed you guys already that one of them is growing. Look how big he is. You guys can't really see that. Oh, the lighting. It is very bright out today, but look at him. He's getting big. And then there's one little guy there. And you can see that there are some more flowering. So I think what I do need to learn today, and maybe this can count as my hobby, is I want to figure out, I have not like helped to prune my tomato plants before, but I think that might be a good thing to do. Just especially some of the parts that are like, that did get scorched a little bit. So we'll see. I can learn how to do that. That would be a lovely little hobby for the day. Especially since, ooh, can you see the shine? Ooh, I already did my nails. They're all being very investigative. What's your plan, Zelda? I'm waving, his tail's wagging. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, since I did kind of merge some of these, I figured somewhat cleaning my space, I know it doesn't look clean, but it is somewhat clean, cleaning my space would be helpful. I also finally adjusted my calendar. So the 1000 Words of Summer starts, and I want to do a daily stream with my patrons every day that I am here, which you can see on my calendar is not much, but it's only for 2 weeks. So I was just figuring out what times I wanted to have those streams at, and I figure I can make a post today, and that would count as at least one social media post. It kind of counts, right? Yeah, Patreon should count. I also wanted to share some book mail I got recently. Becky sent me the follow-ups of the first book that she sent me in this series from Mark, who's in her query group, which is awesome. She'd also sent me Remarkably Bright Creatures, which was part of her query group as well. And look! How freaking cool. This is so fun. I love this cover as someone who recently remade one of these. How cool. These are some other books coming out from her query group. Like, that's crushing it. Thank you so much, Becky. And thank you, Jen, for all of these look how cute they are. These stickers, and Jen had some leftover little cool sticky notes for while you're reading, which I'm so excited about these because they're always so helpful, especially when I'm doing a Cooking with Classics video. So maybe I should do one of those soon too. All right. Back to the writing. Woo. All right. 2,000 words down. Hooray. And I finished another water. I was actually really thirsty. I should have filled it up, but I was like in the zone. We can now cross through the 1,000 more words than usual. Hooray. And I drink all the water. Okay, the next focus is going to be the content. I'm not going to do my steps until tonight. And then, oh, fiber. We'll see how that one goes. But I feel confident I can do it. I'll just eat a whole lot more fruit if I need to. I think I can do that. I think I can do that. Language lessons and gardening. So I'll probably do the gardening either before or after all the steps. This is feeling doable. What will my third piece of content be? I do not know. But for now, a quick walk to wake up and get the pill. That sounds incredible, actually.
Right?
Done. Woo. That's two. That's 2 posts for the day. I rewatched Jenna's video again, and importantly, all that matters is that I think I you know, manipulate how she set it up for myself. That was a big point, which I appreciated. So if I say it counts, if I say the Twitch stream counts as posting, and I say that this Patreon post counts as posting, then it does. Also, post is post. It's in the name, so it counts. Ooh. Ah, look at this. 1 puppy asleep, 2 puppies asleep. It's still a little hot. So I filmed a little bit less on the second day just to see if that was what was keeping me from achieving this goal. And as you can see over on this side, that wasn't it. It was really funny because I was so close to my fiber goal. I was so close for the day, and I completely spaced on the third content I was supposed to create. And I, in fact, didn't remember until I was in bed after 9 p.m. and there was a split second where I was like, oh, I should post. And then remembered, no social media after 9 p.m. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna honor that one instead. So the language lessons I meant to have a longer talk about, but I am attempting to learn German now, and I had been using Duolingo, but I was really annoyed with the way they have been talking about their use of AI. I've actually seen their use of AI already, and back when I was practicing Spanish, and was also annoyed with that. So it's just like, I just need to find a new place to test and learn my languages. And so that's an aside. But if you guys do have a place to help me learn German, I would love to know. Let's see, final thoughts. I think this is fun. I do think it's fun. I think it's perhaps going to be more fun for me to watch other people do it than it was for me to attempt it. I said that I thought Jenna's was going to be the toughest version of this, not just because of the length that her challenge is, 185 days versus the 75 days, but also because it entailed, I thought, quite a bit more. But that said, some of those other challenges were like draft 5,000 words, you know, which can also be very, very tough. I think in terms of my output and my productivity, if I have a day where I've written 2,000 words, where I drafted 2,000 words and I've done other things, that is considered to me a really good day. Okay, if I've done nothing but write all day, 3K, 3.5K is a really good day. So to do 2K, to do the social media posts, to do all these other things, and then also have your work on top of that, I think is just too much for me personally. I think it's possible to change your life in little increments. I think there's something very big and very fun about trying to do it all in one fell swoop, finding all of these different parts of your life to change. But I think some of this, at least for me, I've never been someone who can do an all or nothing approach. It's really funny because my husband is much better about that. Either he's like gonna do this thing or he's not gonna do the thing. I like to tiptoe my way into it. I like to wade through the waters. I like to see how I like it first. I like to try a little bit over here, then try a little bit over there, and then eventually I'm doing it all the time, right? That's more my approach to things. And maybe this is actually just, as I've gotten older, I know myself better because I have done so many of these crazy challenges. I have tiptoed a little bit to know which areas I can jump into and which I need to like backtrack out of. I need to doggy paddle out of? I don't know what analogy I'm going with there, but yes. So these big challenges to change every aspect of my life was probably just never gonna work for me. I think if I was gonna attempt a version of this that could work for me, not one that I think I would necessarily do, but could work for me, would be maybe like 100 days of reading and writing. Let's take the health aspect out of this. Let's take the social media aspect out of this. Let's take, what were the other parts? What were some other things? Let's even take the other hobbies out of this. If I just focused on reading and writing for 100 days straight and really tried to push in both of those things, I think that for 100 days is something that I could push to, because I already read at least, 30 minutes a day, and I already write most days at least 30 minutes an hour a day. So to push on the things I'm already doing, I think I could do. And keeping it to 2 feels so much more manageable to me. To the point that now that I'm saying this, I think I might actually want to attempt this version. Now this is interesting because this goes back to my conundrum earlier. When I initially said this, I was thinking I would be drafting, but I think a big part of writing is rewriting. Actually, a bigger part of writing is rewriting. So then maybe it would be like 100 days of revising and reading and revising challenge. Is there something there? I don't know, but I think that would be more manageable for me. Oh, I do think there's something to be said for imagining what future you would do. If future you's a published author and you're doing all of these things, what would that you be doing day in and day out, and then trying to replicate that now? I do think that that aspect of it is very helpful. I'm excited to watch how Jenna's entire challenge unfolds. I'm excited to see all these other iterations. I assume there's gonna be more and more people attempting this, like 75 hard for authors, writers, half a year challenges, things like that. And I love a good challenge, I really do. But please do comment down below. Let me know how you would change any of these challenges to fit your needs more so. Would you include the health aspects in with the kind of reading, with the writing, with the business? Yes. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who inspired this video, and I will see you all very soon with a new one. Bye!